Hi, this is Lori from To the Trade, and I have Nile with me. Hi, Nile.
Hi, how are
We're
you?
we're very excited today because we're going to be talking about High Point and our events there, and we are super packed. Interior design community is going to be in the house.
Yes, to say the least.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just
I
a
uh,
scotch busy.
I know. I was like, I don't think I've made our schedule this packed ever. So
Well, you know what? I was thinking about that. So you haven't actually um purposefully made the schedule this packed, but
no.
if you think about what we did last market and compared it to this one, it's the same. Like if you think about all the things we did, I bet you'd find that we were just as busy. It's just that those a lot of things were happenstance, right?
Right.
Versus actually scheduled. So I would say it's probably the same. The amount of going and coming and going is going to be the same.
Probably,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah,
And the amount of
yeah,
people
yeah,
we'll see probably will be
yeah.
the same,
That
that kind of
yes,
thing, because we
and the
have
amount of food eaten. Yeah.
a lot of events in the works, some really, really great ones. So Friday, if you're coming into market, Friday is really special. That's 10:25 from 9 a.m. to 4:30. We're participating in the first ever Future of Design Expo with Linda Kafka at the Ann Moore Suites at Market Square. That's on Commercial Street, shuttle stop 14, the red line. They have an Eventbrite. All of this is on our website and our events page. So you might want to head over there. All of that programming is going to be about neuroaesthetics, how our brains work, how we respond to different stimulus, how, Linda travels the world. And I'm talking the world to talk to scientists and learn about how how we can measure a response from people from their brain activity, from visuals. Like she does ocular measuring of where you're looking at a design space and where your eye travels. Like she cares about this at the micro level, and I've worked with
Mhm.
her on a few projects before. I just find her to be an incredible wealth of information, very honest, very uh, steadfast in her approach, and she's just put together an amazing lineup. There's some really, really great people who are involved in, in the technical science and design aspect, and I'm fascinated by that stuff. I mean, are you? I mean, just
Yeah.
I think it's the future. I think that people are worried about, I think we're all worried a little bit about how AI will change the game in design. I honestly think that it's going to give us a lot more scientific tools to work with because these are some of the things that designers already do. The way
Hmm.
you look at something and you just know it's not right. You know what I mean? Like you visually look at it and like it's off balance, or it's just something that you were born with that other people might not be born with, but now
Yeah.
there'll be measurable scientific data to back that up. Like this is why that that symmetry makes sense to our brains. This is why these colors have an emotional response from us. I mean, sometimes it's like a benign thing that people don't recognize. It could be something you don't even remember. Maybe like your parents got divorced when you were little and they had a red kitchen and you have an emotional response to that red and you don't know why because
Yeah.
it's buried in your brain somewhere
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how
Yeah.
you feel when you look at that color. And so if somebody presents that color, you're like, no, but you don't know why. Well, there can be brain activity that's happening in, different parts of your brain that can be light up that will show people like, okay, this is not necessarily why you have the response, but what response people have to different aspects of a design and how they can tailor space to be calming and a source of sanctuary for themselves. And
Mm.
I remember we were at last market and we were talking to Lisa Kahn Allen, who has literally gone in all in on this. She will be at this event. She is a designer out of Naples. Her daughter has autism and she has really made sure to implement this mixture of science and design in her own life, as well as clients of hers. And when you talk to her about her emotional journey that took for her to discover that and how she
Hmm.
implemented it, it
Hmm.
literally changed her whole household and their lives because she started creating a sanctuary for, safe space for her daughter to be in her room, safe space for her, that is just for her in her work environment, a safe space for her son, and she just sort of created that environment. And you know, she'll tear up talking to you about it. I'll tear up thinking about it because it like literally saved their family at a really, really critical time. She was going through a terrible divorce, and this idea of sanctuary and this, using her gift of
Hmm.
design to create spaces that were healing for her family at a very critical time was incredibly impactful for her whole life and is still and she is really expanded on that, and she has a um, sanctuary. She has a finding sanctuary business now that will be teaching other people about how to implement this, other designers, other professionals, and what it can do for your work, your life balance, the whole gamut. And there's just so much of that that's measurable. And I think it's going to be really fascinating to be a part of that event. And it will be going on, like I said, all day from 9 a.m. to 4:30. I'm going to be doing a moderating a panel um, on the design at, like we're talking about sales. And I came from a sales background, so there are a lot of like early days tips that I think that
Yeah.
we forget and that I kind of had drilled into me. I don't know, this is a very weird segue, but my very first job out of college was working for Charles Schwab, which you would never guess because I was in the finance world for a hot minute. And they put you through a very extensive, I think it was like at least 2 months full-time classes on how to sell. And you eventually get your Series 7 and like you work with, I wasn't going that direction. I was kind of going into like account liaison, but that's kind of the direction that why they teach you this much. And there was a lot of early skills that I learned about just communication that I still use to this day. Like they talked about mirroring, when you talk to someone and right now, like you are nodding your head. So if I
Yeah.
nod my head more while I'm talking to you, you will think that you and I are more aligned because I am
Mm.
doing something similar that you're doing. Or it could be a word that you use. If you say, like, that's really cool. Like, and if I put like in my phrases, I'm mirroring what you're doing. So you're going to feel like we're copacetic. We're the same. We're very similar.
Really?
Yeah. And
That's
there's a lot of
interesting.
psychology about that. And then the other part is like how fast you speak or how slow you speak. If someone's really slow, you slow down and that they'll respond to you better if you try to match their cadence a little bit. And
Mm.
there's, we always had you never say no, you always say yes, but, or, you kind of lead people so that they're not getting into a negative mind frame. They're keeping positive. So there's all sorts of really, really interesting old school sales techniques and just how people psychologically react to being sold and how you can work with them so that it's just a better experience in selling. So that's
Yeah.
what our panel is going to be about. We're going to have some
Oh, that
really
sounds
great,
cool.
I know it's really, really fun things. And we're going to have
Yeah.
some interactive role-playing bits that are going to be like this doesn't happen at market, right?
Yeah. No,
No,
no. Yeah,
but
that sounds, yeah.
yeah, so there's going to be some interactive stuff, which I think is great. But the whole day is like designing for neurodiversity, introduction to trauma-informed design, which I mean, that's so impactful now. People that have been through, trauma, different trauma in their lives, and how we can design, like for instance, if someone has PTSD from a war, Like how can you design their bedroom so that there's more soundproofing, that if their car
Mm.
backfires outside, it's not sending them into a panic at night. You know, things like that people are really implementing into design practice now that lets them understand and are educated about trauma and how they can impact that person's life with design. Understanding client personalities for tailored design solutions, how to successfully sell your interior design services. That's our panel. Designing for the mind, improving an emotional well-being through design. They have a lunch also in the middle of the day, I believe, like around 1. So you're welcome to come. I think they already have about 45 people RSVP'd for the day, but I think we have a room for about 15 more. So if you hear about this and you want to sign up, get over there, RSVP. It's the link is right in our website. It's just going to be a really, really great event with a lot of amazing people. So real
Sounds so
fun.
cool.
And then Saturday morning, we're going to start the day off at Ann Moore, the Suites at Market Square, 200 West Commercial Ave. We're going to be doing, this is our panel, why hire a design coach and who to trust. And the reason we did this, Niall, you and I were talking about this forever ago, and it was like, just there were so many coaches that were inundating the interior
Yeah.
design industry post COVID. And we were like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, this is just like this is too much. There's a lot of them. Some of them were great, like they came from the industry, people we knew, and some of
Yeah.
them we didn't know them, and we kind of went through the vetting process. Some were great, some were not so great, and we were wondering, like, how can we give people beyond um what should be they look for if they're trying to find a design coach, because it's so hard to pick the right coach for what you need in that moment in your life,
Yep.
in your business career. And why would you hire one, and how can you look beyond. I want to say this in a nice way. Okay, so this is the tricky part, and I think you'll agree with me. You know, people in this industry don't love to say anything negative about another design professional in any way. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard, even with people who are design friends, to get their unbiased opinion about someone. And when you become a coach, maybe you're in the spotlight and no one wants to necessarily say anything bad about someone who is a colleague, and
Yeah.
so getting that unbiased advice so that you're not in a contract with someone that it's just not a good fit, or you're not
Yeah.
feeling like you're getting what you were paying for,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like those dollars a designer spends on bringing their business to the next level, it's they usually carve that out of like what could be their marketing budget to try to find new clients. It could be carved out of getting the new website. It could be carved.
Oh
There's
yeah.
lots of places that money could go, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's so important when you're making that decision that you're making the right one and that there's an exit door. So I think this session is going to be really popular because we this question's always really popular when we post in the interior design community, and we want to give you a safe space to be like, okay, this isn't really going to work for me, or this is going to work for me, and be able to figure out how to ask the right questions so that you're really getting solid, advice and solid recommendations, so that you're going with a coach that really fits you in that mode that you're in and is going to deliver on what you need them to deliver
Yeah.
on. Because the horror stories we hear, like and you and I both have heard plenty of horror stories from our design friends who spent a lot of money and didn't feel like they got anything from it. So
No ROI. Yeah.
no ROI.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're against a no ROI. We have a no ROI
Yes.
policy.
Yes. Oh my, yeah, really.
Yes. So that's one the thing that's a great thing. And then we're going to head over to Chelsea House, which We love Pam. She's amazing.
Love Chelsea
She's
House.
serving a lunch at 1, so just pop on over a little early if you want and grab lunch over there. And then we're going to be talking about mastering procurement to maximize profits. And I am so
Mm,
excited about this. This is at Chelsea
you and
House
me
at
both.
200 North Hamilton. You, again, sign up on the on our website. Um, this is a huge topic, right? I mean,
Yep.
this is where everybody loses money, right? And every
Everybody.
designer loses money there. You can't, there's no way to avoid it. You're going to lose money in the procurement side. Something's going to be out of stock. You have to find a new product. That costs money. That is a lot. That's a loss for
Yep.
your company. The product came in, it's broken. You have to return it. That's a loss money. Like there,
The
how
the
can you?
product got the product got stolen. That just happened to me the other day. It
Oh
was
my God.
shipped, literally. It was shipped. I rushed, had it shipped, and I told my client it was shipped. I sent her a Basecamp message. She never responded, but that's her whole way of sort of like being sporadic. I sent her a picture, said I see the lamps arrived, and she's like, "No, they didn't." I said, "Here's a picture," and she's like, "Oh, they were likely stolen. Nobody was
Oh,
here." And I'm like,
no, no.
so yeah, so you're right. So there's all, like you said, there's all sorts
Yeah.
of things that can happen to
And
cost you money.
that
So
time frame, that service aspect that you're fixing those problems that costs money.
money
So,
too. Yeah, yeah.
it's also the receiver, the how can we negotiate to get a better contract with receivers?
Hmm.
How can we take this burden and minimize it for the best possible outcome for us long term? And so we'll be talking about a lot of different strategies that will help people save some money on that side. You're going to lose some. It's not, no one is perfect on this front, but there are some great strategies that will help you minimize that expense. So definitely come. And then we have some fun planned later on. We're going to go to the My Doma party at Phillips Collection from 4 to 6, where we'll socialize with the Interior Design Society folks and the My Doma people, which we love them, right? So that'll be
Absolutely,
really,
we do love them.
really, really fun. And I hope you guys stop by and see them too. It'll be really a good time for everyone. And then Sunday we start off we have a design tour that starts at 10 a.m. Sharon Sherman, who you met at Market last time, she's the kitchen designer. She's going to lead a group of about 15 to 20 interior design folks all through Market. Some of these stops are going to be incredible. You're going to be meeting some VPs of companies. You're going to be meeting some really interesting, like amazing, top-notch designers through the mix. So I really highly suggest you get signed up for that quickly because we're pretty much sold out. So sign up as if you're hearing this right now and you're interested in going on our tour, sign up. You're going to meet some amazing industry and VIPs really on this tour. We're going to it's really a full day and they're going to eventually hook up back with you and I, Niall, where we are going to have the be at and more for the art of negotiation from contracts to closing sales. So
Nice.
anything that we can teach you about how to have the best strategies for negotiation. How you can have we have Wendy Estella, who's a contracts attorney there. I
Love
mean,
her. Love her.
we love her. So
Yeah.
she is going
Yeah.
to be there. You can ask legal questions. She's happy to have answer some legal questions. We're going to have some Q&A at the end of that. And you want to sign up for that also. We have a link
Yeah.
on our website. And then we're all going to continue over to the Cravat patio party, which is so fun.
Which is always a good time.
We'll have a drinky poo
Yes. Yes.
after the long day, and
Absolutely.
we will be able to sit on the patio and we'll get to meet some really great folks at Cravat. I just went over to their Boston design center, met up with Neil, who is just great. And honestly, they are doing some amazing things with AI and virtual reality.
Oh, I
Like
believe it.
they're going to be investing in, the glasses. You can wear the Meta glasses or the
Yep.
Apple
Yep.
glasses
Yep.
to have that experience for your clients to be able to visualize, like to put that on and be immersed in a space. and visualize what the sofa looks like and then be able to exchange fabrics and you can see that and it feels like
I
it's
love
right there in
that.
front of you. They're really on the cutting edge of
Well, they
Jesse
always are,
is over there.
I
Yeah,
feel like.
Jesse Lazarus.
Yeah.
Jesse is like, I'll just say Jesse is the fact that Kravet has a person that knows technology on that level, that gets it. I mean, most brands, furniture brands don't. I mean, Jesse had
No.
from day one, he has understood technology on a different level. He just, as a person, he just does. And he really is connected in that side and gets it. And so I think integrating into these really, virtual reality, augmented reality, AI, how designers can use AI practically, for their businesses and productivity. I think that, it'll be a fun party at Kravet. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to be sitting there and
Yeah.
fest, but there's that too. Jesse is going to be doing some events at Kravet, teaching you about AI and teaching you about what's next for, basically client interaction and where this is all going to go. Because all the prices on these things are crazy right now. They're like 3,000, four thousand
Oh yeah.
dollars to buy that system from Apple Vision Pro. But eventually it's not going to be. Eventually
No, it'll
it's
come
just,
down.
yeah, it'll all come down. So that'll be very exciting. And then Monday's our last day at High Point. We have a panel at 11 a.m. with Gabby and Cheryl, the secret of building insane revenue from everyday clients. And that's really, I'm just moderating. Cheryl Clendenin is from Damn Good Designer is going to be really talking about her business and how she does coaching. She has a very successful design practice and a showroom. And a lot of her clients are just middle class folks. She does a lot of condos. I mean, she's in Florida, so she does a lot,
Yeah.
a lot of condos, a lot of small homes. And she's like, there's a lot of money to be made in regular upper middle
Oh,
class clients. Like,
I so believe that anybody that doesn't believe that or doesn't know that is totally missing the boat. Those
yeah,
are I don't want to be discriminatory, but that's the sweet spot because most of those people they respect your hard work just like because they're hard workers, so
right,
they don't want to, they respect your hard work like you respect their hard work, right? And they don't
right.
have time to do it because they're working hard, they've got families to raise, and so they're
Yes.
happy to pay for that service,
Right, right.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And
I
she
found
has
that
built
very early
a
on.
very, very successful practice on that and wants to share her best tips on how you can build a really great revenue model with everyday clients. And I think that that's something that's often overlooked, but it's a really great way to recession proof your business, that kind of thing.
Nice,
And then
nice.
we're ending market with, the pièce de résistance. We're going to have our interior design community meetup at Curry and Company from 3 to 5. Um, it's IHFC main floor one. You know where Curry and Company is. It's kind of like you go a little further down and they are to the left or the right, and you're gonna be going downstairs. And we're gonna be hanging out with the Curry and Company folks, which they are my
Who we
favorite.
love, yeah,
Favorite.
we
So
love
I'm
Curry,
so
yeah,
excited. There
yeah.
are going to be opportunities to get some video there. They have a videographer, photographer. So we'll take a bunch of pictures with our IDC fam and, spend some time chit-chatting, have some glass of wine, chill out and just end market the right way with our favorite people, I think.
It'll be so much fun.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah, it's
so
going
much
to
fun.
be a really busy market. You and I also have when they're doing the tour, when Sharon's doing the tour, we have some meetings with some possible sponsors of IDC, which will be really
Woohoo!
fun. But
It'll be a productive market,
it will be a
you know?
productive market. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of really great business happening. There's a lot of really great opportunity. There's some opportunities to network, to grow, to figure out what your next steps are and for business and business strategy conversations. So we're up for those conversations. We want you to grab Nile, grab me. Anytime you see us at market, if you have an idea for interior design community, or you want to just like, oh, tell us about something you've got going on that you just need some advice on,
Yeah.
we're, happy to help. I mean, that happens to us at market all the time. We're
Yep.
used to it.
Yep.
So come on, you want to be on the podcast?
Yep.
Let us know.
I get emails, DMs all the
Yes.
time. So
DMs, emails,
yeah.
absolutely. We are available for you.
Yes,
We're
yes.
there.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. So I just want everyone to feel very comfortable and very welcomed. That you're listening, that you're part of the interior design community. You're part of our family, you're part of our crew. We want to see you. So don't think you're ever bothering us. Come and talk to us, even if we look busy. If you want to grab us and just say, ask a question or get some advice or want to know where the cool places to go, where we're going next.
Exactly.
We want you to
Exactly.
be we want you to be there with us. In fact, you can even shoot me a text. That's how available I am. I'm going to tell you my phone number right now, which is 603-203-7174. I can't believe I gave that out on a podcast, but there it goes.
I was gonna say, I think probably everybody already has it. I'm sure,
Maybe.
because last market, you're like, I'm texting so and so, and they're gonna meet me here, and then I'm gonna text so and so, and I'm gonna pick them up there, and then I'm gonna text so and so, and we're gonna have lunch here. So that's probably
Yeah,
old news to them,
I know. I,
you
te
know?
I text a lot of people. I'm on my
Yeah.
phone a little bit too much.
That's me too. That's me too.
I've got my family being like, "Hello, be
Yeah.
present."
My son's like, "Are you not gonna be on your phone today, Dad?" I'm like, I'll try.
I don't know. That
I'll
doesn't really
I'll
happen in
try.
this world.
No, it's like an appendage for me at this point.
Yes,
So,
yes. And
you
I'll be
know,
excited to just, be there. And I'll tell you, we always have the top tips are like obviously wear comfortable shoes. There's a ton of walking, right?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
don't worry
I
too
always
much about where you're going to eat. There's lots of food
There's
options.
always food. There's all you can always find somewhere to eat. I always tell people break it up, like, use now market there's like these pre-markets. So like I tell people,
Yeah.
like, if you get there Wednesday or Thursday, some people are getting there that
Yeah.
early.
Yeah.
Do the perimeter Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, get yourself together, and then like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, network, and then work Monday and Tuesday. Like use Monday and Tuesday to actually, if you're working, if you have clients and you need to see
Yeah.
like showrooms and stuff, work Monday and Tuesday.
Except for our
That
party. You
system,
come to our party because now
except for
it is
yeah,
fun.
because our party's at a good time. Our party is 3 o'clock, so
Yeah, so
you
it's
shouldn't be
perfect time.
working
You can
past
work all
3.
day and then you can
Yeah,
come
work all
over
day, and
and
then
visit us at the end of the day and
yeah,
have some
yeah,
drinks with us and we'll end
yeah,
market. We'll toast and be like, yes, we did
yeah.
it. We
That's right.
survived. We
Exactly.
got
Because
our,
if you're doing it right, you need a drink by 3.
yeah,
If you're doing it right, yeah, yeah.
you do, you do,
I
you
know
do.
I did.
You're like, okay, when is this over? I need to
Exactly. Point me to the bar, please. Exactly. Yes.
get me back to my crazy life to be a relief from this crazy life. The
Yeah.
chaos and the amount of people can be overwhelming, and
It's very
everybody feels that way.
stimulating.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's another great tip is like find those little spot. There's always a little spot. If you need time to decompress and you're peopled out, you're overstimulated, just find a spot. And if you
Oh
really
yeah, and yeah. Know
you
yourself. Like I
yeah,
have
know
to
yourself.
sometimes just go back and, you know, just take 5 minutes, take an hour, take 30 minutes, and just sort of like, decompress, like you said, and then
Have
go
a glass
back
of
at it.
water, relax,
Yeah, yeah,
sit
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Believe me, we did it, I think, once at market last time, and
Yeah.
we people came to us.
Yeah. Just sort of
Oh,
take that
there's
downtime.
Toby Fairley. Oh, there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
you're
don't
not
feel
gonna
like
miss
you're
out
gonna
on it,
see.
anything.
No, and you don't and don't beat yourself up if you don't see everything, because you're not going to.
No, no. And you're not going to
It's
see
like Disney
everybody you
World.
wish you could see,
Yeah.
unfortunately. That's the other tough thing, and just you can miss people you really, really wanted to see, or only get a few
Yeah.
minutes with a person you really wanted to spend more time with because everybody is just very busy at market. But I think that, knowing yourself and taking that time and being okay with like it not being action packed every moment too. You know that that's okay too. If you need to chill out for a minute because that's just what you need for yourself, then do it. Then don't worry about the business side because you'll see everything you want to see, you
Yeah.
know, or everything you're supposed to see, basically.
Yeah.
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 And think of all the recaps, when market is over, so many people do trend reports, markets, pictures. You can go really just go onto the hashtag, like
I was gonna
Hyde Park
say,
Market
yeah.
hashtag, go through. You're going to see a ton of things you might not have seen.
Yep.
They don't remember seeing you either. So if you want to be like, oh yeah, hi, Kravit, I stopped by and you
Yeah.
didn't, whatever.
Exactly. Exactly.
I saw your new blah
Exactly.
blah blah.
It was so great, you know?
It was gorgeous. No, no, no. Go to Kravit, really.
Ex-
But
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely go there.
but it's will be a really, really exciting market. I think that a lot of people have a lot of you know, just thoughts with North Carolina after the hurricane and some of the devastation in Western North
Yeah.
Carolina, Florida. And so there are some really great initiatives to fundraise there too. And it'll be really heartwarming to see, the furniture industry come together. I know some interior design community folks that were in Asheville and in some places that got some major damage, and it's really heartwarming to see the furniture industry come together at a time when they're struggling too. You have to imagine
Yeah, I
furniture
was very
shop, furniture companies are struggling as well.
already. There was already a
Yeah.
struggle, and
Yeah.
then this, and I was very conflicted. It's talking to some friends, and I'm like, I don't even know. I was like, do I even? I was like, I don't want to post to Instagram
Yep.
like I normally would. I don't
Yep.
even know if I want to show up to market because this is so seems so superficial of me to
It
be
does.
down there doing this kind of stuff. And there are these real things happening. And
Sure.
one of my friends was like, "Yeah, but you don't know. Like, if there are 50 to 100 people, 200 people that feel the way you do." What is the money that your attendance generates for that area? And
Right.
how would it help? Like, if you don't show up, what does that take from that area? And I was like, oh, he
Right.
said, because you don't know what the person, and maybe the person that works at a hotel that somebody's checking into lives in Asheville and supports a family in Asheville. Like you just don't know how,
The
that
restaurants you're going
economy
to,
is going to be affected.
oh,
Yeah. And I was like,
absolutely.
that's a really good point. So
That's a really, really good point. And they need the support. The furniture industry really needs the support right
yeah,
now,
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
badly. And they love it that we're showing up and that we're talking about market because there are a lot of jobs that are reliant on the furniture industry in North Carolina and families that it feeds, and there were factories that were on the western side. There's the port strike that was happening that thankfully is delayed at this
I know.
point.
Thank goodness.
I mean, it's a
That
lot
was
of worry.
scary.
It's a lot of worry for some of these businesses. And I think that, that support of seeing, you know, the designers come in and the designers support the market, uh, reassures the manufacturers, into the next year what they're going to be able to do. So I mean, they can see kind of based on market how their year is going to turn out. So
Yeah, it's tough all the way around. And I've heard this in the past, and I think it's true because I've seen a pattern with it. Every time it's an election year, it doesn't really matter about party. Every
right,
time it's an election year, people tend to hold on to their resources because they
right,
don't know which way things are going to go. And
sure,
so after the election, it seems like things start to flow again. No matter
yes,
which way it comes down, things
right.
start to flow again, and people are like more willing. Because I have gotten like at least 10 inquiries, and then they sort of fizzle out, and it's like, hello, I'm here, I'm available. And so I think it's people just sort of saying, I think that I take it as, yeah, we're interested. Yeah, we're still like this. That's still a thing for us, design and redoing our offices and our homes. But we're a little scared.
We're a little scared.
We're a little
Which way
scared
could
to
it
do
go?
something.
And
Yeah, which we,
that is,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I think that people do. I think that there have been studies on that, and election years are really tough for
Tough,
consumers.
yeah, for people.
for
Yeah.
service workers, consumers, things like that. People just kind of wait and see, wait and see.
Hold on to the, yeah. So I'm just
Yeah.
hoping. I'm like, okay, all right. I'll just wait until after the first of the year. Hopefully, everything will
Yes.
be great again. So in terms
Yes.
of people buying more furniture and
Yeah,
uh
I think that there's going to be
retaining
a,
our
a
services.
huge I think that there's going to be a huge surge. I think that people are um I've been watching some conversations happen unfold on TikTok that are interesting to me that people are talking about. I've learned a lot on TikTok. I know it sounds crazy, but are you
No,
on TikTok a
I'm with
lot?
you. Yeah, I'm with you too. And
Okay,
for
so
a year almost, I just scrolled and learned before I even
yeah.
posted anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Same with
yeah,
me. Same with me. And
yeah.
because really my even the interior designers aren't really over there as much as they are on Instagram. I mean, I've tested. They're just my mark, like for interior design communities,
It's
they're there, but they're not there in the numbers that they are on Instagram yet.
yeah, it's different. TikTok, well, because
Yeah.
TikTok is different. You know, it's
Yes.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but I do dabble in posting, certainly the memes, obviously, because they can go.
They do well. They do
Yeah,
well over there.
yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and I've had conversations, but just following like some of the industry talk, and there was a really good one today where people were talking about, the what luxury looks like to somebody who doesn't understand the luxury market of design. So if you come
Ooh,
into uh let's just say you start to do well at your job and you're making good money and you want to invest in design, the stores you think of would probably be like Restoration Hardware or something along that line, and that would be high end to you because that's what you know of at high end, because they're not this is a person who's never had exposure to the trade products. So their Pottery Barn, their Restoration Hardware, their Williams Sonoma is that's
that's high. That's
that's
their
high
high
end
end.
for them,
Yeah,
because and it's not because they're you know,
uneducated.
uneducated, because that's
It's
what
what
they are educated about design. That
it's what's
that's what
provided to
it's
them.
what provided to them. That's what they see
Yep,
at this, at the malls that are near them might
yep,
have a Restoration Hardware. It might have, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they don't know what they don't know. They don't know that
yep,
there are a whole other level of product
yep,
out there that they wouldn't know the name brands of because they're to the trade products. And
yeah,
so I like the fact that there are some designers who are really talking about that now on Instagram and what the differences are and why. And like the reason that a designer might not want to specify Restoration Hardware, for example, would be that would be a quality issue. Not all of it, but some of it would be they know that if you bought, a sofa that is constructed a different way and
hmm
that has longevity and that is made here in the United States,
yep.
and is, kiln dried wood and,
Ain't way hand tied. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
hand
yeah,
tied
yeah.
and
Yep, yep, yep,
down stuffed
yep,
cushions, like,
yep,
though that is going to feel better and that's going to hold up better and that's going to serve, you could pass that piece of furniture down. You could reupholster it in 20 years and
yep,
it could look brand new. That's
yeah,
why designer wants you to buy that piece. And, there are people now starting to talk about that. And I think that that is so exciting to me because that to me is like the missing piece that designers have always had. I feel like designers
yeah.
have always said, I wish clients knew what I do, really, and that I'm not just pushing these products because they cost money.
Because they cost money.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
cost
And
more.
because I'm gonna make ooh gobs of money off because
Yeah,
that's never the case,
no, I
you know.
know
Because
exactly.
and I always say, like I say to a client, I'm like, well, if that was the case, don't you think we would just do one project and be done?
Right.
Like if we were gonna make tons, like a boatload of money, we just get that one project and be like, "No, okay, we're gonna retire." It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't
No,
work that
no,
way. Yeah, yeah,
no.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I love the idea of designers being maybe becoming a bit more educators
Oh
of
yeah,
what is good quality. because
Yeah.
I think it's really hard for consumer. I really think that they don't know what they don't know. And unfortunately, that has led to a fast furniture movement where there is a sofa that ends up in a sofa should never end up in a landfill in 5 years. That should never happen. That is really bad for the environment. That is really bad for the world. That should not, chemicals in cheap fabrics that stretch and the cushions turn flat. Like that should never happen. That shouldn't even be manufactured. The standards of manufacturing that shouldn't even exist because this is a piece that's supposed to last you. And it
Hmm.
wasn't always that there were pieces like that were such poor quality. And now you can go on Amazon and you can buy a sofa for $800 and it looks fine online, but it's not going to last even a year. And
No.
it's not going to stand up to any wear and tear. And then it's going to end up in the garbage. And that's what I think a designer can teach you is here, don't spend $800. Wait till you have a budget that you can work with. But even for like $3,000, you can get a really nice sofa
Oh
that is
yeah.
quality,
Oh
and
yeah.
a designer knows which ones are quality and which ones aren't.
Yeah.
They know which ones
Yeah.
are $3,000, but really they're an $800. You could, if they're Chinese import or something like that is
Yep.
not good quality,
Yep.
or they know the ones that are handmade. And I'm not saying all Chinese imports are bad because there are some that are really
No.
good.
No. No.
Um, but it's about knowing which is what is quality and what isn't. And I think one of the jobs of being a designer is understanding that, is knowing quality versus not quality. And
That
it
level
really
of
doesn't
discernment.
always have to do with price. You
No.
know,
No.
they might come in and tell you, okay, well, you really want this light fixture, which is less expensive than this one you really want because this one's made better, or this
And
faucet made better.
it's honestly never about it's honestly never about price.
Right.
It's for the most part, like
There's
I
your
don't know any
budget, but not
yeah,
necessarily.
there's your budget, but I don't know any designer that's like, oh, well, that one's 5,000 and that one's three. Let's do the 5,000.
No,
Blindly. It's
no.
usually about what is the best thing for the project and what, like you said, has the best quality.
Right.
You
It's
know?
always quality. It's all, and they know they've taken the time to, when it's fun to see designers at High Point. If you're listening and you're not a designer or you want to be a designer, the inspection level that a designer does at High Point of the furniture, what they're looking for versus what you and I would be looking for are two different things. They're inspecting the piece over, they're pulling the cushions up,
Oh
they're
yeah, we
looking at
do. Oh yeah.
the stitching, they're looking at the back, they're looking at the
Yep.
fabrics that are available. They're ripping through them and going, nope, 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 yep, nope, nope. They
Yep.
know what is going to last you, what is going to be good for your lifestyle, and they are meticulous when they go through market to find the right pieces. And the conversations that we're around constantly when we're at market are like, oh, you got to go check this small, showroom out or that small showroom out because the price points are really good. The quality was really, really good. And like all these little tips being shared among designers about these cool finds in unexpected places sometimes. Like
Mm-hmm.
you need to go over here, you need to go over there. They had great art. They had, reasonable prices for really, really amazing like hardware,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so that's the kind of stuff that I love like listening to. And I think that I wish consumers would know how much designers really care about that quality. And market is really a great place to get that education. You're getting business education, you're getting product education,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're getting contacts so that you can, figure out your pricing model and figure out how you're able to price to your clients. You're kind of making those connections with your reps and with, directly with the brand, VPs
Yeah.
of the brand, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. So I think it's really
It's
not
a
to
great place to
miss.
work. Believe it or not, it's a great place to work. If you are working on projects, it's a
Yeah.
great place to get ahead, especially for any solopreneurs. You go into that showroom and you've got your rep. I mean, obviously they're super busy because everybody's there, but it's a great place if you can see the products in person and touch and kick the tires. you can get so much further than you do behind the computer screen. You
Right.
know,
Right.
you get so
And you're
it's such
making
an
that
advantage.
in-person connection with the brand
Yes,
too. So that if
yes.
you there's a problem down the road for your clients, and that's something I think that maybe consumers don't know too, is that the designers investing in going to High Point, which High Point is free for designers, but you are paying to go and
You
spend your
pay to
time
travel.
and
Yeah, you pay to go.
travel,
You pay to
all that.
stay.
But
Yeah, yeah.
you're investing in going and you're seeing this product line and you're bringing that knowledge back to your client. Like this is the place, these are the places I trust. This is the quality I've touched it, I felt it, and it's just the best that a designer can do. I mean, other than being on the floor manufacturing it themselves,
Yeah, I mean that's the education. Yeah, and then you can confidently go back and say, even if you don't connect with the rep or the brand representative, you can confidently go back and say, yeah, I can specify this line because I walked around and kicked the tires in the showroom, and I know that the case
Yeah,
goods or the upholstery is made, reputably. So
yeah,
no problem specing this for you.
yeah.
Or I've no, this is what your budget is. We can spec this, but you should be aware that if we do, you're looking at something that you're going to have to replace in, I don't know, 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that what you want to do? Or would you rather just wait and call me in a year when your
right,
budget has grown?
right, right. I
But
love that
you
you
can't
say
get
that.
that from a computer. You
I
can't get
love
that
that
from
you
a
say
computer
that.
screen. Yeah.
You're such a sweetheart. I love that you tell clients that
Oh
it's
yeah. I
okay to
mean,
wait. I love that.
I'm very realistic. I mean, I'm doing my kitchen right now. I mean, and I have because I'm too close to it. So it's
Right.
I have help. I have a really good friend of mine who's a kitchen designer, and you know, she's very honest with me about you want to do a bigger window, but that's great. But why? What are you looking at? It's siding. Your view is of she's like your view is of siding. I understand you want a bigger window, but all
But
you're
for
gonna look
what?
at is but for what? A 6 foot window is lovely, but why? It's just siding that you're looking at of your neighbor's house. And I was like, oh my God, that's such a good, when you're so close to it, I'm like, oh my God, that's such a good point. I would
Yes.
totally tell a client that, but I never thought of that. She's like, yeah, I think going to a 4 foot window makes more sense
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's less money and it's just siding.
Right.
You appreciate those things when
Yeah, yeah. And
people are honest with
I
you.
think collaboration too, that happens, that market is part of it, is like you can sit
Yep.
down and have those conversations with other professionals, projects that you might be working on or projects that you might, just have ruminating in your mind for yourself or whatever. And just collaboration is just such a great part of creativity. Like I love collaborating with
Me
other
too.
professionals. Like I love having, I was on the phone with a designer yesterday who was showing me her bathroom that she's remodeling, and we were FaceTiming, and she's getting ideas and I'm giving her ideas. Like we're just chit chat. Like it's just that's the fun, that's the good
That's the
stuff.
beauty of it. That's why I
That's the
wish
beauty of
somebody
it.
would have, have you seen the things I'm sure you have. One was called like I think it was called The Cave where you did your busy work, like you joined
Yes.
and you
Yes.
like everybody's on. I'm like, I wish somebody would invent that for designers because
Right.
when you're in your studio and you're working and you're just whether you're working on AutoCAD or Chief Architect or you're selecting fabrics or finishes, if you've got like 12 to 15 people on Zoom and everybody's sort of doing the same thing, doing their creative work, their deep creative work. It's great to have that because if you can unmute yourself and just, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I have a question. That sort of collaboration, if you can't be in person, is invaluable. And I'm
I
like,
love
how
it.
come nobody's invented this yet? People
I
would
wish
eat
they
that up.
would.
Yeah.
It's such a, we thought about it during COVID because we were thinking about doing it weekly, like a mental health, and we did for a little bit. So it
Yeah.
was it was more like a mental health hour, or it wasn't just
Yeah.
full working, but like we were work, we encourage people work when you're doing it, just, you can just get on or not get on. I will be on for these hours
Yeah.
and anybody can join and anybody can just talk or not talk. And you can talk about personal stuff. You can talk about design, business stuff.
Oh,
But
that's so cool.
I wanted to do it because I felt like it was like a mental health thing, like
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was really hard for a lot of people to go work at home and shut down offices and, just the state of the country and not worrying about, pandemic and getting sick
Yeah,
or
yeah,
getting
yeah.
healthy or whatever you needed to worry about in that particular time. And I just thought people needed like a touchstone to, you know,
Yeah, for
just
connection.
connect with people. And we did it for a while. And then I think it just fizzled out on its own. But it was really I think that those kinds of things are important because you can have, being a solo entrepreneur can be very lonely,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
lonely. And having a space to be able to say, like, just is this crazy? Is this is this idea worth pursuing or not? That kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think that
yeah.
that's really always like a good idea. So,
Which is
yeah,
another thing you get in market, that collaboration,
maybe
you
there
know?
will be. Maybe somebody will come up with something like that and we'll help them.
Yes,
We'll,
yes.
we'll have interior design. We'll promote it in interior design
Plug,
community.
plug, plug. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, yes. We actually have some really great, stuff in the works with some really cool brands this next year. And we're going to be doing more and more and more events through the next year. So interior design community is busy, and our long-term goals are really just to provide that space for interior designers to connect. And we're going to be doing a lot more connecting in the future. Very excited about it. So
Yeah.
make sure you're following along for the journey. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everybody. We will be back next week with regular scheduled program, but we really wanted to make sure we got this High Point Market post out soon so that you had all the best information about getting and navigating High Point Market, and you come
Yep.
visit us. We want you to
Yes,
see us.
please. We want to see you.
Yes, we want to see your faces and give you hugs. All
Exactly.
right. Well, have a wonderful day and have a wonderful week, guys. Bye bye.